The power has been with you all along. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Trey Michael.
This is Starla Michael.
And today, we want to talk about some of the steps, step by step, that me and my wife and my kids took for us to do away with being a targeted individual and putting a stop to being gang-stalked. Now, this topic came up because several people have commented to us saying that they don't believe, I've had some be rude, but it's okay, saying that being a live, love, and laugh, hugging tree person stops gang-stalking. They wanted to express to me that this is something that's serious and it's war-bound and only weapons and the government can stop the government, you know, and that's cool. But this topic is really for a beautiful soul that we found on in our comment section today. And this video is a shout out to Miss King. And we're going to give you what you asked for, a step-by-step process on what me and my wife did and my family did, truthfully, from our heart, that put an end to being a gang-stalked individual.
Gang-stalking.
Death to gang-stalking. For 1 second before we start this one. Gang-stalkers, are you around me? If you are, make a noise. Any gang-stalkers? There are none.
No.
And that's because we had a spiritual awakening and we woke up from our deep slumber. And now the power is with us.
That's right.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive deep into this topic.
Hey, you guys. Like Trey said, today we're going to be talking about some of the things that we did to stop gang stalking. One of the things that we've told everybody is that we had to basically become love walking. Everywhere we went, we just became love. We're showing love to everybody, not including the gang stalkers. It was the people that you come in contact at the register, just talking to them. We used to try to stay away from everybody because they had kind of secluded us. We were like, who is the gang stalker? We're not sure if they're a gang stalker. Is this a gang stalker? And they tried to seclude us. So we did the opposite. We talked to everyone. We made conversation at the registers when you went in the store.
Everybody.
We made conversation with the children, any children that we seen. You know, we just made conversation with people in the public that we're not seem crazy because we're being secluded. So another thing we did, me personally, was I used to go take the kids to the pool a lot, and the children. And
explain the pool process. So, So like we said, we're gonna do a step-by-step, slow down breakdown. So when she's saying a pool, she's speaking of the apartment complex that we lived in.
Right.
So, and I'm not stopping my wife or anything. We're doing this so that we can show you guys a visualization of what experience we truthfully had.
That's right.
Again, we usually make videos that are not about our dark night of the soul. We're usually making videos about higher levels of consciousness. But I can never forget where I began my process. What started that process. That's what we're here for today. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna let my wife go ahead and start back from the swimming pool at our apartment complex.
That's right, because they didn't know what I was talking about, community.
Correct.
But like I said, I used to take the kids to our community pool, and the gang stalkers, they would be there. They would be following us. And I used to get so angry when I saw them. Every time we came out, they were there, and they just sit and do their thing.
Role playing and all of
with the street theater. So one day I just decided to go speak to them. I went to go tell them about all of the events that are coming, the full moon, this portals that are 1111 portals, you know, different things. I made it my best to talk to them instead of avoiding them. I'm going to talk to you. I'm gonna show you this light. This is what you're stalking, you know. And then go ahead, baby.
Yeah, and like she said, it was the light that we were presenting. And it's the light that we still present today. When my wife was saying the 1111 portal, she was giving the people who are doing the process of what you're perceiving as torture right now. And eventually, I promise you, you're gonna look at what happened to you as the blessing.
That's right.
But to explain it better was, in the beginning process, we tried to avoid, you know, shoot them the middle finger, curse them, keep the recording on them, because we never knew what they were going to attempt to try. And I remember, like it was yesterday, I looked at my wife and I said, Starla, I have a feeling that this is gonna be our life. And I said, are you okay with that? And she said, well, I guess this is our life.
It's our life.
I said, so what do we plan on doing? And I told her what the universe told me. It said, Trey, and I had $300 cameras that do auto date stamps.
So many cameras.
I spent so much money.
So many SD cards.
SD cards.
Crazy.
To the point that I heard something tell me to take the cameras out of my vehicle. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's crazy, because as soon as I take these cameras out of my vehicle,
we thought that was our protection.
That was our protection. You know, it's going to stop them from being able to set us up with the police, because we know the police were involved.
That's right.
We know the fire department's involved. We know Comcast. Everybody is involved, and we fully understand that darkness of this reality. And in that process, we decided to say, you know what? Whatever happens is going to happen.
That's right.
But one thing that I was not going to allow, that we were not going to allow, was for something to control our reality.
Right.
So we made it our business. And listen, I want to make sure you know, don't just try to think that you're going to go tomorrow or today.
It's not going to happen overnight.
To say, hey, I'm going to show love to Gang-Stalkers, and because I'm showing love, they're going to change. No,
right.
90% of them may never change. I can't tell you that it was them changing their hearts that made reality shift. But what I will tell you is this. What we found out was that what the whole process of gang-stalking was to keep the vibration of humanity to a low point.
Right. It's a distraction, is all it is.
It's just a distraction. And what we decided to do was, since you're trying to lower the vibration of all human beings, that's more than just gang stalkers and people being stalked. That's the lady at the gas station. That's the lady that lived next door to us that had a child that was a paraplegic. Okay, it was about saying, listen, Trey, I'm going to make it my best, my life's purpose, to go out every day to show love to the smallest to the biggest person.
Until this day.
Until this day, yeah, it became a lifestyle.
That's
like,
right.
You guys, Miss King especially, I want to say this too. Out of all the people that made the comments, you, Miss King, the same voice that told me to take the cameras out, which is the essence of life, or what we call the universe, it wants me to say this to you as well. Miss King, you control your reality.
That's right.
Life is but the experience of the seeds that we've planted. So I'm gonna backtrack this for a moment, and I'm gonna talk about our experience of gang stalking with fear. Fear is the false evidence appearing real.
That's right.
So I planted seeds in the soil of fear and misery, because that's all that we focused on. We focused on how many were coming for us, how many times they wrecked our cars.
Ourselves.
Me, looking out of the window, holding the camera, buying the body cams. I had pens, I had glasses that I bought off of Amazon that had SD cards on the side that you charge up to record. I understand, you guys and ladies. And the second that I let the ego, which is what, sweetheart?
Edging God out.
The ego, which is edging God out. See, God is all things, including the gang stalkers, including the government officials, including the people of MK Ultra and every other government policies and things that we perceive have power. They are all a part of God. Okay? What happens is we single ourselves away from the whole, and we believe that it's them versus us. And as you're doing that, you're planting seeds in the soil that you and I have to reap the harvest from. I want you to remember this. The day that we started to show love was not the day that we received love back.
Trust me, it was not the same day.
It was not the same day.
Or the same couple months. It was
a long period.
It was a while.
Because the day that you plant the seed is not the same day that you reap the harvest. So if you go out like we did, and I want to give another thing, but I'm going to tell you this. But if you go out like we did, and you start planting positive seeds, don't wake up in the morning and look out the window and think that it's going to stop. They're still there.
That's right.
The stuffing upstairs, the bright headlights, the one headlight, it's going to still happen. You have to go to a point in yourself that no longer matters.
That's right. Change your focus
That
is
the
what we had to do. And that's one of the reasons I think that taking the cameras down, that if you take the cameras down, that changes your focus, because as long as you're recording, you're constantly focused on
self.
Recording, right, for self.
For self. And in that process, you begin the healing.
That's
you
right.
begin the replanting seeds that in your future you will reap its harvest.
That's right.
Listen, you guys, after 2.5 years of planting seeds of fear, of course me and my wife had to go another 10, 11, maybe a year of eating fear. That means the continuation of gang stalking. And I know I'm rambling around because this is not something that I can just sit on here, or something that we can just say, listen, it's 1, 2, 3. This was a 3-year process, you guys. See, towards the end, it became amped up. During the love spell, that's when they start pulling guns on me and my wife. What was that, for Halloween? Pistol in the face at the Parkers. Okay, at a gas station. Guns drawn on me, my wife, and my children in the back seat. That was from the seeds of fear that I planted in the old. See, but then when my time and when our time came to reap love, the love that we did, and I want to bring this topic up, and this makes me smile. And this is some of the stories, Miss King, and this is some of the stories that people that are watching this, that you're gonna be able to tell to the people that come after you that's having this experience. I remember around the same time we were told to pull the cameras down. I can't give you a specific date. I can't remember. It's all a big conglomerate glob. I remember I walked into a gas station, and they do the street theater. As soon as you pull in, 50 cars pull into a gas station that probably only has 10 customers, right? And I go up to buy my items and purchase my gas. And when I get to the counter, because I was on my process of my spiritual awakening, I realized that the lady behind the counter was sad. And she had nothing to do with gang stalking or the government or MK Ultra or any of that crap. And I call it crap because it's not even relevant in your own existence. And I remember focusing on her problems, not mine.
That's
not
right.
The fact that these buttholes were behind me, ready to stalk me outside of the gas station. I focused on that lady. Now, keep in mind, I'm in the South. This is the South. We live in Georgia. It's not saying that racism is prevalent, but it was during the Trump era, racism was heightened, black, white, all of this crap. Call that crap as well. And I remember saying, sister, she looked up at me, and I said, it's gonna be all right. I said, live, love, and laugh. And that same day, I go back home, and I talked to my wife about the experience that I had. Now, the experience that I spoke to my wife about was not about how many people did street theater when they pulled into the gas station. That had been going on for 2 years. That was normal. Remember, we decided to say that's just our life. I gave her the experience of that lady, that young lady, who was not of my same complexion. And I was telling about how I told her to live, love, and laugh, and how it brought a smile on her face.
That's right, just a smile.
About a week or so later, we go to the Dollar General, something simple as the Dollar General. And I said, sweetie, let's buy her a gift. Now, while I'm in that Dollar General, yes, the gang stalkers are still there. They're outside of the parking lot. They harassed me when we were sleeping that night and everything above. But that's not the key to the point. It's the evolution of change that came within the process. See, now our focus was so focused on someone else's, like the young lady at the gas station. So that day I remember we walked up, my wife was with me this time. We go in the store, the gang stalker, street theater, same crap, whatever. We go in and I see the lady. And when she sees us, she's smiling.
She does.
And I hand her, we hand her the gift. And she grabbed it and she almost teared up and cried. Now, what came after that was what made me and my wife, it's who we are today because of that experience from that young lady.
That's real.
This is real, right? She said, I told my mama what you said to me that day in that store. She said, I was at the lowest point of my life right then. You have no idea. She said, and my mother told me that maybe you were my angel.
That's right. That's what they told her.
Maybe I was the guardian angel.
Wow.
And in that moment, we understood something. That this whole existence, me being here on this planet right now, it's not about me. It was not about her. It was not about my kids. What about everyone else's kids? What about everyone else's wives? What about the people who can't eat food while we're eating great in America? We're being stalked, yeah, but we eat full meals. And if you can't eat the full meals, the government's got EBT for you. Right?
Oh, and speaking of kids, that made me think about, this is a big one, you guys.
And listen, and I want you to give props to my wife, because I have to be honest, when she tried this one, when she did this one, I was like, you're going too far. You're going too far with this love stuff. But please explain to them how far in love and how it had nothing to do with trying to make these people stop.
Right, it didn't have anything to do with making
It had to do about the love that's built within her heart.
That's right.
And her essence that made her do this. But please, I'm sorry, I'm so excited about it. But explain to them.
About the kids, we were staying in an apartment complex, and my daughter walked to the bus stop. My son also walked to the bus stop, and it was a lot of kids. And my daughter had this little girl, was in her same grade at school, but her parents were gang stalkers.
Yes.
They stayed in, across the hall from us. But I was always telling Amaya, stay away from her, stay away from her. Her parents are gang stalkers, and just always
just trying to get close to us.
But during this love stage that we were going through, I actually accepted Amaya's offer to have them stay the night with us one night. Her and her little brother. And they're gang stalkers. Their parents are gang stalkers. But my logic was to say, hey, these kids who are experiencing this gang stalking, it's not their fault that their parents are gang stalking, because a lot of them have children.
Yeah.
But they need to be able to see the light,
love.
which was us. So I said, why not let them stay tonight? So we tried it a couple times, and every time it was just amazing. They were begging to stay with us every weekend. I'm like, no, y'all can't stay this weekend. But it was just bringing so much joy to them being with us. And if our kids got ice cream, they got ice cream.
If we bought our kids something,
they got it.
Something.
I mean, it's just spreading love, and and those are some of the people that actually apologized to us in the very end.
Yes.
It's because they saw that
no matter what they
did,
did,
it had no effect.
And I want you to make sure we explain this to them as well. And while we were watching their kids, when we dropped their kids back off, they still had to do their gang stuff. Right. They still had to do their street theater. It didn't stop them.
No, it didn't.
But see, the thing was, that wasn't the reason we did it.
Wasn't the reason.
You guys and ladies and Miss King, the truth about this whole thing is this. You are not a human. Humans have pains. Humans have sufferings. Humans live in lack. Yeah. Humans have duality, which is good and evil, bad and good, up and down. You are the being. You are the spirit that is connected to all life force. You are the same thing as the tree that's behind us, as the soil, as the air, as the wind. And by letting go of the ego, which is edging God out or edging out creation, you become a part of all things.
Everything.
And in that process of being a part of all things, you become love. And love thy enemies. See, it's easy to love someone who does good to you. You can love us, that's easy. We stopped what we're doing at the mailbox. My wife seen the comment that came in, Miss King, and we decided to go ahead and post this for you. Now, we had a lot of other things that we could do. But see, because we love you, we love all of you that are watching this, to the point that we say, hey, what's more important? What we've got going on, or our brothers and sisters that are still experiencing the same traumas that we once experienced in our existence?
That's right. And now, another thing, not to cut you off, but what I wanted to say to everybody was, a lot of people are saying this love, hug a tree stuff is not going to work. I tried it, it's not going to work. I just have a question. How long did you try it? You can't just do it 1 day, 2 days, 1 month, 1 year. You have to make this a lifestyle. We are still doing it to this day. You have to stick with it, but I'm telling you, this is the answer. I promise you this is the answer.
Tried everything else.
If you tried everything else, just try this and stick with it. It says, he who endures to the end
shall inherit the earth.
That's right, that's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we're here to tell you is, this may not seem like the answer.
Doesn't seem like it.
But insanity is to continue to do the same thing over and over and over again, hoping for a different response. Me and my wife have better things to do than sit here to tell a lie to you. We have a lot more things that we could be doing in our existence.
True.
Just to show you one of them, and not to brag or not to boast, but you can go on the Google App Store to see my apps. My name is going to be there, Trey, Trai, Michael. It's under Kemet Valet Trash. We have other things that we can be doing. Things that, listen, sometimes my mother tells me, Trey, you give too much of your personal information. See, but because I am a part of you and you a part of me, I don't have any information that I feel is personal.
That's right.
So I give it all.
Everything.
I give it all so that you can do your due diligence to see, hey, are these people some phonies? Because I had so many people comment, those people are not even, they've never even been gang stalkers.
They are gang stalkers.
That's the other one. Oh, we are gang stalkers. But see, the Bible says, and I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual person, but you can learn from anything. The Bible, the Torah, the Quran.
Anything.
It says, judge the tree by its fruit. And the fruits that we're producing are good fruit. So what we're saying to you guys, as the sun shines and bathes our face and we feel good, the power has been with you all along.
That's right.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, like we always say, live, love, and laugh. And namaste, namaste, namaste. You see these smiles? You see this? These are smiles that came from hell to heaven.
That's right.
And heaven is waiting for you as well. Hey, you guys. Peace.
Peace, everybody.
Stay in light.